Clayton Kershaw, the Dodgers, joining us. Clayton, how are you?
I'm great, Dan. Hey, before we get started, though, I had a question. I have a big fantasy football week coming up and didn't know if you could give me some advice who to start at running back. I don't know.
I hate that. I do. But I know you play fantasy, right?
We do, yeah. We've got a big Dodger league.
How much money's on the line?
Come on. Why ask that? I mean, it's enough to make it interesting. That's
Okay.
for sure.
Does it make you nervous? Is it interesting, or does it make you does it make somebody nervous? How much money that you're playing for?
For me, I guess I can't answer that. Probably nervous. I'm nervous. Yeah.
Could you buy a small car if you won the league?
Close. Yeah.
Congrats on the third Cy Young. You know, that's getting kind of boring here.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it was a fun night last night, and obviously today too could be exciting. But it's awesome. Anytime you win something like that, it's so cool.
Okay, so I'm looking at your posse there as you're accepting the award. I mean, come on. It looked like these guys stepped out of a catalog, a clothing catalog here. Come on.
Yes, they. Well, that's kind of why they did it. I guess they did it last year, and they got blown up on the internet so bad that they said, "Hey, if you get to win this year, we're doing the exact same thing." And so the comments have been hilarious. I guess there's some sports blogs, and it's oh my gosh, it's so funny.
It looks like a lacrosse reunion or something. I mean, it doesn't exactly look like a tough crowd though. What did you guys play? Pictionary last night, or what did you guys do crazy last night?
Two of those guys actually played lacrosse at Denver.
There you go. Yep, I could tell.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
What do we do? We just hung out here at my house. Nothing special, that's for sure.
Where are the first two Cy Youngs?
I try to confine all baseball stuff to one room. So I've just got everything baseball in one room.
Describe the room. When I walk in, what do I see? First thing.
When you walk into, here, I'll walk in there real quick.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, here we go.
Let me see. Actually, the first thing you see is my Sandy Koufax jersey, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's I love that. That's awesome. And then you look around. I got like my debut, and a plaque, some All-Star jerseys and stuff. So you can find it though. It's not too hard.
But what would I want to borrow if I went in there? What's the one thing you'd be nervous that I would take aside from the Sandy Koufax jersey?
Well, I think the Gold Glove is the coolest trophy, don't you? I mean, I think that's awesome. I think if I was a robber, I would come take that one.
Well, I do have a Gold Glove.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Congrats.
Yes, I do.
Way to go.
It's Harold Reynolds' Gold Glove. He had 3 of them, and he gave me one for the man cave. So I actually have it here today.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Maybe, look, if we start to build up a few more, if you get to 5 Cy Youngs, could I maybe have one on loan just for like a little while for the man cave?
Yeah, I would do loan for sure. I don't think I would give.
No.
Yeah.
No, but if you get to 5, like the 5th one, I just think I'm at your house when you get it, and as soon as they hand it to you, then you just hand it to me, and then I get to have it on display in the man cave. Because I can have it on, this is for the people here.
I hear you. Absolutely. Yeah, I think a loan is fair.
And you know what I'll do? I'll even be in the picture with your posse.
Okay, that's even better.
V-neck sweater, collared shirt, and looking really dorky. I would be in that.
Yes. Yeah, that's about all it takes.
I said this to the Danettes that here you are. People look at curveball and slider and how great it is, and I'm thinking if you ever get the changeup remotely close to being dangerous, it's not going to be fair, Clayton. Are you working on the changeup in the offseason?
Yeah, but I say that every offseason. You're like, okay, I'm really going to focus here. I'm really going to learn how to throw a changeup. And then I go to spring training. I feel pretty good about it, and then I never throw it. So
why?
I don't know. I think it's not great. First of all, I mean, I think it's definitely my 4th best pitch, and then from there it's just necessity. I think AJ told me that one time that you learn things out of necessity, and so that's true. When I start needing it is when I'll probably learn how to throw it. So that's kind of what I'm going with.
Were you surprised when Tommy Lasorda said that pitchers don't deserve MVP?
I wasn't surprised. Tommy's a pretty opinionated guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that probably wasn't the best of timing for him to come out with that, but that's okay.
But how important is it to win that MVP?
I don't know if it's important, but it would definitely be awesome. I think, I'll probably, who knows if I'll never get a chance to even come close to winning one again, because there's a lot of things that have to go right. I think, with the other finalists, Andrew and Giancarlo, they both got hurt a little bit, and that probably helps me out. And so, I think in a normal season, it probably wouldn't be that way.
Would you vote for you?
I don't know. That'd be a really tough vote. Fortunately, I don't have to vote. I've had to face those guys in the past, and you don't even talk about guys like Paul Goldschmidt that has an unbelievable year that got hurt, and so I don't know. I don't know how you can vote, but thankfully, I just have to listen tonight.
Would you ever reach out to Madison Bumgarner after that performance? I know you got Giants and Dodgers, but is there any part of you that looks at that as a fellow left-hander or a pitcher looking at what he did that, pretty incredible, pretty historical?
Yeah, Madison's awesome. He's a great guy. I've gotten to know him, just from playing against him so long. So, I wasn't necessarily rooting for him, but you got to respect, you got to respect what he did. He had an unbelievable postseason, obviously, and he is an easy guy to root for, though. Great guy.
What is it about the Cardinals?
I don't know if it is the Cardinals. I mean, obviously they've beaten me a lot, but I don't know if it's the team or just things coming apart in one inning for me. So I try not to think that one team has my better hand or something. It's just my fault. And so hopefully we get back to the same spot next year and I get another chance. And, if it's against the Cardinals, great. But hopefully hopefully we can just win.
But do you go back? Have you watched that outing? Have you watched the video of that?
No, I mean, there's nothing to watch. I know what happened in both games. I know what happened. The last game in St. Louis, I pitched fine, and then just a couple, one bad pitch really. So that's all it takes.
Yeah, but that's because now you have Bumgarner who pitches so well, and then people say, well, yeah, Kershaw was great during the regular season, but then it gets to the postseason, and I don't, it happens to great pitchers. Greg Maddux, he'd get to the postseason, and for some reason, I don't think he had a winning record there. What is it? Is it you pitch differently, or is it just teams react differently, or they get a chance to see you more often? Have you figured it out?
I don't think there's anything to figure out. I just think sometimes you get beat, sometimes you don't, and there's nothing to change. You just pitch better. I really. I don't think I pitched terribly in that last game.
No.
Obviously, in the first game I did, and that's really the only one that, other than so I guess there's really two games that I can look back on that really didn't go my way. But I don't know. I can't dwell on it. That's for sure. You just got to keep pitching. Are
your bros on standby if you win the MVP? These guys going to be at the house again?
That's a good question. I think I don't know. I think they'll come over again. I don't know if they'll get FaceTime like they did, but they'll probably come over. Yeah.
Well, good luck with the announcement. Congrats again for third and 4 years, and thanks for joining us as always.
All right. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Clayton Kershaw.